Welcome, dear viewers, to CouchWarrior TV on YouTube. I'm the CouchWarrior, and you're watching Arcana, a Skyrim Let's Play. Welcome back to the story, brothers and sisters. As you remember, we are here in Solitude with some grim business to take care of. In the last episode, we took care of a few more mundane things, wrapped up a couple of quest lines for the Bard's College, acquired some levels and a couple of skills, which was pretty nice, got rid of some junk, did a little research, gathered some books that Fleet will take back to his abode and at some point pore over to try to learn more about the Dark Brotherhood, about the Daedra, the Aedra, and all things of interest to Mr. Fleet Featherstone. So, what are we doing this episode? Well, it is time for us to get down to business. And the business at hand is the assassination of Vitoria Vicci. This is actually a very important moment in the life of any assassin in Skyrim. It is the moment at which we tip the first domino, if you will, in a chain that will actually culminate, hopefully, if we pull this off correctly, in the assassination of the Emperor and the, I guess, beginnings of the restoration of the Dark Brotherhood's reputation as a force to be reckoned with in Tamriel. So what I have done here is I have shed those nasty clothes that I was wearing previously. I have stolen some things that I just found here in the room. One of the things that we need to do here is be somewhat cognizant of the fact that people are looking for us. So, in the last episode, we donned something of a disguise to take us to the Blue Palace, where we went and took care of a couple of things. At this point, we've ditched that clothing, and we are trading it for another sort of partial disguise. We will not be wearing this for very long, as we are going to probably go to a disguise that is going to conceal our identity before we actually get down to business. But we need to go out and acquire said disguise. So, in the meantime, we are going to wear this getup, which is actually quite a bit more flattering, I think, than the pea green garments with gold accents and fur, and the clogs, or whatever those shoes are. Doesn't seem like Fleet style, does it? I think this is a bit more refined looking. We've lost the hat as well. Some viewers expressed that some disdain for the hat. I just don't understand where that's coming from. That hat is gorgeous. Alright, so I'm going to try to organize myself a little bit here. So, our objective, of course, is to kill Vitoria Vicci, and we are going to try to do it without raising a giant alarm with the guards. In other words, we want to try to pull this off in such a fashion that we will be able to actually get out of the city without incident. Now, whether or not that's really possible, we don't know, but we are going to do our best to try to make it so. Now, what I've done here is I have hotkeyed certain spells that I think are going to be critical to the task at hand. One of those, of course, is Bend the Shadows, which we talked about in a previous episode. Another one is called Swap, which I have spoken about, I think, very briefly, but never actually used. And another one is called Ghost Walk, which is all of these are part of the Apocalypse spell package. I don't know if we'll be using them all during this assassination, but I can think of at least one I plan on using for sure. We'll see how this goes. Now, my followers I have left behind, but the plan will be to meet up with them later, and they will be there as our reinforcements should we need some extra support to make a hasty escape from Solitude. So to start with, we need to acquire an appropriate disguise to get close to the wedding party. To do that, I am going to have to knock off a Solitude Guard. So my objective here is to find one that is alone and outside the city walls. We're going to eliminate this guy right here and take his stuff. Very good. All right. Now, there aren't too many places to hide a body here, so we are going to don our disguise and go straight in and perform this assassination. Get it out of the way and move on. All right. So to make this convincing, I'm going to have to wear most of this guy's garb. We will probably keep our silencer's gloves on, however, as that is going to give us our damage bonus with the dagger. We want to be extra sure that we pull this off, so I'll probably leave those on, but everything else we'll put on. We have the Imperial boots, the armor, we've even got a sword and a shield, the whole thing. There we go. Not bad. And back in we go. Another guard dead on the mean streets of Solitude. Hello, friend. Just headed back to the barracks. Doing my thing. Okay. So far, so good. Alright. We're going to get up close on these guys, and before they turn around, we are going to scoot around the corner and head in. We don't want to engage in conversation with anybody at this point. That could potentially blow our cover. So we are going to avoid conversation, and we are going to get up on top of the walls as quickly as we can and scope out the situation.
Good friends and neighbors.
So initially what I'm going to be looking for is a good overlook position where I can size up what's going on in the wedding party, figure out our escape routes, our entry points, and formulate a strategy for how we are going to make this kill and get out alive and undetected.
Thank you again for everything.
Okay, so there's 2 gates leading in here. Only one is open, the other is down, so we are not going to be able to use that as an exit if we somehow get trapped down below. So we want to set ourselves up so that does not happen. We want to carry out this assassination either from the wall or in such a way that we can get back to the wall and make our escape from above as opposed to at the courtyard level. So we've made our approach, and now we are waiting. The spell that we are going to use here is Ghost Walk. The effect of Ghost Walk is interesting. It allows you to have 10 seconds of invisibility, and when the invisibility wears off, you are teleported back to the location where you first invoked the spell. So I'm going to invoke the spell from the top of the wall, drop down behind her and use the dagger, and at that moment I will be teleported back up to the location I cast.
Neighbors. My husband
Here we go.
Here and I thank you for coming to our reception. We thank you for sharing the love we have for each other. These days it's
And it's done.
No! I let you live. You've had enough.
Now we need to
The bride
exit
has been
the area as quickly as we possibly can. I'm going to go to the bow here just in case we need to fight anyone off. Until I know that I have my back covered, that we're okay, I got to be cautious. Who's this?
Astrid ordered me to keep an eye on you.
Aha.
Figured you could use a hand when the chaos erupted. I'll try and hold him off as best I can. You get back to the sanctuary.
All right. Let's get out of here. I'm going to go back to our standard garb. Now I'm going to use Bend the Shadows. We've got one guard who occupies this corner. This is my escape route. I'm going to take him out so that there's no possibility of being seen. Quickly and quietly. Alright, now I am using a mod that changes Solitude, adds buildings, and if you'll notice here, it cuts off an escape route for me, so I'm going to have to go up over the rooftops to get down near the front gate, which is where we need to be. So we are going to conceal ourselves here on the roof and wait till an opportunity to drop down and make for the gate. Now, I don't believe that the guards are on alert. I think we pulled it off cleanly, but I want to make sure that during my exit I'm passing as few people as possible. These guards kind of do a loop together, so we'll wait until they make their return pass, and then we'll jump down, and I believe that will allow us to get to the gate only passing one guard instead of 3. That's the plan. Let's see what these guys are doing. Yeah, they're on the far end of their patrol, so they're on their way back. We should be able to pull back to our hiding spot and watch for the approaching light of the torches. That'll give us an indication as to where they are. Yep. Here they come. Alright. Now we're going to drop down to street level. Try to be casual about all this. Okay, we did it. I am pretty sure that we haven't raised any alarms, but this guard will be the final test. If he's got a beef, he ought to be having it soon. I'm going to put on our Cloak of the Crow. It is raining, and we were soaked. That is the main reason I actually changed out of the guard's armor, is because it was completely soaked. So we're back to our assassin armor, and the cloak will keep some of that extra rain off. And now we gather our followers and make our final escape. Nefe's journal. He said to wait outside the gate with the horses at the ready, but I knew something was wrong when the front gates were closed. Valfar's axe provided the key and the seconds we needed to come to his aid. He was in mortal danger, but did not seem to notice. Where does his mind take him that it could consume him so completely? Well, brothers and sisters, we are back on the road. We are approaching Robber's Gorge and back to the action.
As they have become slaves to the Thalmor. I will not live as a slave. No.
So we've got followers this time. That should give us some advantages when attacking Robber's Gorge. We don't have to do it solo. However, I think it's always good to start any attack taking advantage of the element of surprise, and the fleet is the best position to do that right now. So, let's see who we can take out from this angle. Given we've got horses and followers, we're just going to try to make sure we don't complicate things. Okay. Now that guy is way at the edge of my range. I may be compensating too much for the distance. Yeah. Maybe we can draw him down. Let's see if we can draw someone out here. We'll go a little bit lower. Put one in the rocks over here. There we go. There's somebody. There's one down. Where's another? I'm going to put one in the wall there. See if we can draw someone back to the other end of the bridge. We just need to get him out in the open. I ought to have him pretty confused by this point. I've been putting him on both ends of the bridge. Let's change position. Where are you?
What was that?
Oh. There's another one. That's two down.
Who's there?
Okay, now I think my followers will rush the front gate. I'm hoping they rush the front gate. And I will provide supporting fire coming up over the bridge. Here we go. There's another one. Clearing a path. Alright, good. They're engaged. So Valfar and company are engaged over there on the other side. We are going to make our way cautiously up and across the bridge, providing any supporting fire we can along the way. Alright, we can see the action over there to the left. Let's get up here. That mage concerns me. Oh, there he is right there. Let's see if we can help him out a little bit. There we go. We put a little damage on him. That ought to help Valfar get the job done. Now here we go. Here's a prime target. Keep him out of the fight. I think we've done it. I don't know if there's still a chief in there. Let's try to draw him out with an arrow, but nothing happened, so maybe he's done already. Maybe he already came out. Let's double check. Not going to leave any bandit scum. Whoa. Hey. Alright, let's back it up. Back it up. So, we chased the bandit leader out, and these guys killed her on the road. She made a run for it and didn't make it very far. Which is interesting. It's not often that you see a bandit leader not stand and fight. But I've got great followers. And they made very short work of her. Alright, so Nefei has rejoined us. And we go back on the road. So I hope you enjoyed the little interlude there. First was the battle interlude, of course. That was interesting to put together. I think that some of my work is starting to blur the line between a Let's Play and a machinima. So I tried to really kind of bring into that fight scene some additional perspective by changing the field of view and kind of getting a different feel or a different view on the action. So that was kind of interesting to play around with, and incidentally, it is one of the main reasons that it has taken me longer than planned to put out this episode. Those of you who follow me on Twitter saw my announcement earlier in the week that I was intending to put out an episode on Friday night. Well, I've obviously missed that deadline horribly, and this is part of the reason. I've invested a little bit more time in how I'm doing things here, trying some new things, seeing how some of the console commands and some of the tools that I've acquired are going to help me in telling the story. So I experimented a little bit and spent a little extra time working on that stuff, as well as the flashback sequence, which was quite lengthy. That was one that I really just, I wanted the viewers, I wanted you all to kind of watch it and to experience it, so I didn't do commentary there. I didn't do journal entries. The video in that sequence really tells the story that I want to tell. So if you feel like you need to go back and review it again, please feel free. So we should talk a little bit about story as it pertains to Fleet as a character. In my view, there is a big difference between character and characterization. And it's really this psychological profile or his background, his makeup, that makes him the character he is. And the characterization of Fleet, is his garb and his mannerisms and kind of this, I don't know what you'd call it, sort of this view that he portrays to the world, this face he shows the world, which is kind of a dark character, a brooding character, a somewhat unpredictable and inconsistent character when it just comes to personality. And so really the focus of our story is on his arc, his character arc, what happens to him from the start to the finish of the telling. And quite honestly, I think that we have a larger plot going on here and probably lots of little subplots that you're picking up on. But the larger plot is really about who is Fleet? Who is he and what is going to happen ultimately to the soul of this man that we've come to know after 74 episodes of this Let's Play. Let's Play storytelling is actually very unique in that it's very rich in certain things, but very sparse in others. And one of the ways in which it's very rich, of course, is the visual and the audio, some of the interaction that we can do. It's very rich in that sense. But it's very restricted also in that we can't do lots of dialogue. And a lot of times in a story, the nuance of a character is really discovered through dialogue, right? When they're talking to people on the street or their friends and family. And that's something that we don't really have the luxury of here. So when I do journal entries, those fall short of dialogue as well. And they are really sort of the internal monologues of individuals who are involved with Fleet, including Fleet himself. But that's more like narrative. So it gets a little bit tricky sometimes communicating the subtleties of story because I end up having to really do it through pictures mostly. And the journal entries can provide a lot, but I also have to be careful. I don't want to insult your intelligence by being too literal, right? So anyway, it's very interesting. You can find a lot of interesting resources out there that will give you advice on how to write a novel or how to write a screenplay, but there is nothing out there that I have seen that really provides any insights as to how to craft good story using this medium, which is interesting. I like the challenge. It's interesting. So we have a larger plot that has to do with Fleet and this soul searching that he is doing. And inside that, we have several subplots going on, some of them which have been revealed and are currently in force, some which have been resolved, and some that are yet to be discovered. I hope you're enjoying the story, and I invite you to comment. Feel free to comment on the story in the comment thread. I'm always happy to see your comments. So here we go. We are back in Falkreath Hold, and we are traveling to the Dark Brotherhood Sanctuary. We are going to resolve this segment of the quest line and pick up our next job, and we will start the next episode fresh with a new assassin mission and see where that takes us. Now, if I remember correctly from the letter that we read that was addressed to Astrid, which we got dressed down for reading, the next stage in our mission here is that we are going to track down and eliminate the son of Gaius Maro, I believe, who is a Penitus Oculus. Alright, let's have everybody wait here. I'm not going to bring Nefei in with me at this point because this is going to be a quick stop. We are not going to tarry here for very long. We're going to pick up the next portion of our mission and get back on the road so we can...
You're someone who can get things done.
We can advance this plot that we have to eliminate the Emperor. I like how Lydia just stays on her horse. Stays on her horse. She's kind of looking around up and down the road.
I'll take my
I
leave
long
then.
to be out there with my brothers, waging war against the Empire.
All right. So now we get into the segment of the Dark Brotherhood questline where Astrid starts assigning other members of the Dark Brotherhood to give us the next stages in our mission. This is kind of interesting because this is a big enough job that she has taken the various segments that need to be completed in order for this mission to be a success, and she has kind of portioned them out to other members of the Dark Brotherhood. So I kind of envision that being, you know, exactly what the speaker should be doing, right? We're breaking the mission down into its components. We're identifying the right members of our team to research and plan each component, and we're portioning out the work. And that really puts Fleet in the position of being the doer, right? He's the one who is going to be drawing his blade in each of these cases, with each stage in the upcoming mission being planned by the member of the Dark Brotherhood who is best suited to plan it. It's interesting when you think of it in those terms.
The news is everywhere.
Hey, boss.
Vitoria Vicci, the Emperor's cousin, butchered at her own wedding. Well done.
Let's just remain
His
silent.
Eminence try to ignore this. With Vicci's murder, you've started us down a path the Dark Brotherhood hasn't traveled in centuries. The assassination of an Emperor. And now your reward. A unique spell to summon a legend of the Dark Brotherhood. His soul serves us now in death, as his body once did in life. Ah, and of course, a bonus for killing Vicci while she addressed her guests as instructed. Gold. Simple and pure. Spend it as you will. Now then, time to proceed to the next stage of the plan. Go and speak with Gabriella. She's been helping me arrange your next contract.
Right. Got a new spell. Or a power, actually. Made a little extra money. Even got an achievement. Now we need to go speak to Gabriella, but before we do that, we need to make our stop. As per usual. And we honor, pay homage to the Dread Father. Now we must locate Gabriella.
So many contracts, so little time.
Wish I had more time to chat, sir, but we are busy. We're busy, dear viewers. Doing dark deeds on behalf of Sithis in the Dark Brotherhood. Here she is.
Dear brother, I've been waiting for you. Your next contract awaits, as I'm sure Astrid indicated.
She did. What are the details?
With the Emperor's arrival in Skyrim now a certainty, his security service, the Penitus Oculatus, will need to begin its preparations immediately. Security is being handled by a Commander Morrow. Astrid and I have devised a plan to break the man, and in doing so, cripple the Emperor's protection. You are to slay the Commander's son, Gaius Morrow, and once he is dead, plant false evidence on his body, implicating him in a plot to kill the Emperor.
Okay, let's remain silent.
He is set to leave the
So
Penitus
Gaius
Oculatus
Morrow is
outpost
the
at
son.
Dragonbridge and inspect
Commander
the
Morrow
security of each city in
is the father.
Skyrim.
I had that
Go there
flip-flopped
now.
somehow.
Observe Gaius Morrow's departure and follow him. Waylay him in one of the cities and send his soul to Sithis. Once he's dead, plant the incriminating letter on his body and let fate take care of the rest. Oh, and one final thing.
Yes.
To earn your bonus, do not kill Gaius Morrow in Dragonbridge or on the road. Kill him in one of the other major cities he'll be visiting. There, the body will be discovered quickly, as will the letter implicating Gaius Morrow in the plot to assassinate the Emperor. Do that, and Astrid has authorized me to grant you a rather unique bonus. It is a special token to be given to Olava the Feeble in Whiterun. Olava is an old and dear friend, and a powerful seer. The token entitles you to a reading of your future. It's an opportunity one should not.
Fleet will definitely want this bonus.
I'm just trying to imagine you hiding inside the fire.
How do you know Gaius Morrow's schedule?
No, so your best plan is to follow him after he leaves Dragonbridge. However, there is one other option. We know there's an actual written travel schedule somewhere in the Penitus Oculatus outpost. Securing that would, obviously, be most beneficial.
Excellent. We get a bonus. We eliminate the next target. This is definitely a bonus that Fleet would want, so we are going to very carefully follow the requirements to get that bonus.
Your latest exploit
Fleet would be interested in peering into his future, ugly as it might be. And that brings us to the end of another episode. I want to thank you for taking the journey with me. And until next time, may all that you do be swift, quiet, and deadly. And to all Skyrim assassins, and you know who you are, I salute you. Silence is our battle cry.